Dan Heyman here for Auto123.com. I'm here in just outside of beautiful San Diego, and this is the new 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV. It comes available with all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive model is good for 340 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. The dual-motor all-wheel drive model is good for 288 horsepower and 333 pound-feet of torque. They have various ranges. The all-wheel drive has 449 claimed kilometers of range. The rear-wheel drive model, 515. That's 515 kilometers of range. There's also an SS model coming later on. That one's going to have almost 550 horsepower and almost 650 pound-feet of torque. What's really interesting about this is actually the base model is actually the all-wheel drive model with the smaller 85 kilowatt battery. The rear-wheel drive model, which you can get in RS form, which is next level up, you can have that with either all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive and the larger 102 kilowatt battery as well. The pricing for the base model is $59,999, whereas the RS is $69,999, whether you get the rear-wheel drive version or the all-wheel drive version. This is the RS. This is the sporty model, so it's got these really nice wheels. It's got some nice, the front piece right here. This is the full-length DRL. I think it looks really, really good. I love this red color. I think it's nice. It's a very good-looking vehicle that sports the new face of Chevrolet, which I think is fantastic. And if you follow me inside here, there's some cool stuff to look at in there as well. So here is the interior of the RS. You can see it's got this black and red interior, which I think is kind of cool looking. I'm a fan of it. The big kind of party piece inside the Blazer is the 17.7-inch central display. That's standard in all Blazers. It's the biggest video screen you can get in the segment. Actually, I think it's the biggest video screen you can get anywhere, which is pretty impressive. Of course, it's horizontal. I've got an 11-inch digital screen in front of me as well. So, and it's all tilted kind of towards the driver, which I think is good. There is, however, no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You have to use Google built-in. We'll have a look at the details of Google built-in in just a second here, but that's for you to know there is no Apple CarPlay here, which is too bad. So what they've tried to do with the interior, they kept it modern with the digital displays, and they've got a digital rear view mirror as well, but they've also tried to keep it a bit classic as well by making these kind of roundel style vents, which kind of remind of an old Chevy Camaro, something like that. The way they've aligned the gauges through here, so it's a little bit old school as well. Plus you got the RS name here, which is a name that served Chevrolet for a long time. It's pretty spacious in here. It's comfortable. It's got some of the biggest kind of lengthwise or widthwise space of any vehicle in the segment. So it's lots of room for your shoulders, for your legs. I think it's great. Nice big storage bin through here as well. Back seats are generous too, and you've got a pretty good rear cargo area too. So it's actually quite comfortable to sit in here. Driving position is good. I've got a heads-up display as well.
Blazer EV's got Google built in on our 17.7-inch driver or center screen here. Google built in really consists of three key features. So we have Google Maps, the Google Assistant, and the Google Play Store. So we'll start with Google Maps. Google Maps really looks great on this vehicle. First off, you notice on our freeform screen, we actually take the map all the way to the edge of the screen. We don't put it in a box. The system is very responsive. Zoom in, zoom out, move the screen around. Extremely responsive. One of the big benefits with Google built-in on an EV is that anytime you have a destination entered into the map on Google built-in on Google Maps, it's always going to show you your battery percentage on arrival. So it really takes away the range anxiety for customers because that updates live as you're driving, so you can always have confidence that you're going to be able to get to your destination with enough charge. In addition to that, if you do set a destination that's beyond the range of the vehicle, it's going to recognize that, and it's going to automatically ask to add in charging stops to the route. So it's going to find those charging stations. It's going to tell you to stop, how long you need to stop, how long you need to charge, and then give you a total trip time, including charging.
So as soon as you program your GPS, it's got that stuff. It's going to start talking about that stuff.
Okay. Exactly.
Okay.
And then the last thing is if your destination in the map is set to a DC fast charger, it's going to know that and automatically precondition the battery if required to get the battery at that optimum temperature when you get to that charger for the best charging experience.
That only happens if you activate navigation, if you're using
the Google built-in for the route.
Okay.
Now, there is a way in the system to also manual engage battery preconditioning. So if you're not using a route, you can do that, but you just have to remember to do that on your own. the Google built-in system intuitively does it for you, and it actually knows, based on weather conditions and whatnot, how much it needs to warm up the battery or cool down the battery, so it knows when to engage it too for that best experience.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about now the Google kind of landscape with regards to Google built-in, like how that benefits me as the user. Can I log into my Google account? Can I do all that kind of stuff?
Yes, that's absolutely the way that we would like you to use the system, is to actually log into your Google account, because as soon as you do that, the system is going to automatically pull in your contacts. It's going to pull in your route destinations, things like that, automatically in the system.
What about Spotify playlists?
So actually, that's actually the good segue into the second piece of the Google built-in system, which is actually the Play Store.
Okay.
So we actually have full access to the Google Play Store, which gives us access to any app that's released for Google Automotive. So we have, EV apps like PlugShare and ChargePoint. We have different music apps. And like you mentioned, Spotify, we actually have Waze for navigation that you can use too. And these are going to be constantly updated based on, whatever is released for Google Automotive will be in this Google Play Store. So always updated, always current. And you can actually see here, for example, we have Waze and Spotify already on the screen. So if you have a Spotify playlist, it's very easy. A QR code, you can log into your Spotify account, pull in all your album art, playlists, everything integrated right into the screen.
Do you have to log in from here to your Spotify account, or if you're logged in on your phone?
No, you actually do log into here. So it's actually independent. It's all your stuff, but you don't actually have to have your phone on. You can make it
I see. So it's just going to the Google Cloud, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Cool. And then the last part of Google built-in is actually the Google Assistant, which is what we use for our voice commands. So we can do the normal things that you can do with Google Assistant, the way you talk to Google Assistant. For example, you can say, "Hey Google, tell me a joke."
Did you hear about the snowman that got upset when the sun came out? He had a total meltdown.
Okay, awesome.
So it can do things like that, but because it is integrated with the vehicle, it can also control things in the vehicle, like, changing your radio stations, changing your climate control settings. So it can do vehicle commands as well as regular.
So is there a Hey Chevrolet as well, or is it just Hey Google is is everything?
It is Hey Google. Okay. Yeah, we don't have to make anyone know any specific commands for the actual vehicle. Okay. So the entire entertainment system or infotainment system is set up very much like a smartphone, very icon based, and should be very familiar to anyone getting into the vehicle.
So that's the quick look at the new 2024 Chevrolet Blazer. It's for sale now at Chevy dealers in Canada. And as we mentioned before, starting at $59,999. For Auto123.com, I'm Dan Heyman.